Hey, I'm hoping this will be a quick one and a fun one. I spoke to the journalist Alexandra Hildreth for Dazed magazine recently about the bag charms debate, and I tried to film a TikTok about it, but it was so incredibly long, so I wanted to make it a full video. I think my main contribution to the video is posing the question, do we have to every single time we get dressed or enter these intercommunal conversations about fashion, do we have to always say, I'm not getting duped, I'm not getting fooled? You may be, but I'm not. Like, is that something that we have to communicate to each other? And like, honestly, spoiler alert, my POV is like, no. Her article is about the bag charm debate and the culture of like the authenticity wars essentially online, and she speaks to Mandy, Old Loser in Brooklyn, and Pretty Critical. I was talking about how I feel like the pre-curated bag charms discourse is the offspring of the authenticity wars that have been happening in the fashion world and the culture space online. So the ways that people are analyzing culture online right now are really oriented around shifting away from the cynicism of the late 2010s and 2020s, early 2020s, and more into this more sincere and authentic, or at least highly curated semblance of authenticity space, if that makes sense. You know, the highly curated artifice of effortlessness, as I said on Twitter so wordily. And so I said that being perceived as truly invested in fashion and styling feels really high stakes. And I said that because I feel like the personal style conversation that's been exhausted now is so oriented around like, you're not being your true self, you need to express your true self and authenticity. And obviously you guys know that's not the way that I think, because I'm like, what is a true self? You can't explain it. Nobody knows what a true, I'm like, what is a true self? And then I start, you know, bringing in the Truman Show references and the Todd Salons and the Synecdoche, New York, and I'm like, yeah, there's no true self, but that's okay. And Persona by Ingmar Bergman, and I'm like, yeah, what is a true self? Who knows? Who cares? It's really high stakes to be perceived as truly invested in fashion and styling, and it's gone from wearing something designer or well-styled or whatever else, and it's moved into proving that you understand it. Like, for example, the way that people talk about how they've wanted something for ages, and you hear me say it too, I wanted this a really long time, or that you've scoured the internet archives to find it so that you can prove that you're invested and not a mindless trend follower, it becomes increasingly important. I always talk about how I don't like when people say I've wanted this for ages and it happens to be the most trendy thing in the entire world at the moment, because it's like, it feels like what you're trying to do is maintain distinction between yourself and other people. Because if you wanted it for ages, why did you wait until it was at its most expensive and most popular and ubiquitous to get it? Because you maybe didn't want it for ages, and maybe you're tapping into a broader cultural trend. And what makes you feel like it's so important to deny the collective attitudes that inform liking the object? Why can't you say, I'm just like everyone else, I like this because it's in right now, and I'm like other people, and I enjoy and love other people, so I'm happy to be like them? Why do you need to say, just to make a clear distinction, I've always wanted this? I'm not someone who can be easily swayed by the industry. I've always wanted this. And I know that's not literally what people are saying, but to me, I'm saying it feels that they're saying, I said saying a lot, but it feels to me that people are indicating that they're different from other people, and that they have to put a disclaimer, I've always wanted this. Like, people are always putting disclaimers when they talk about fashion online to assign credibility to themselves. And it concerns me. And it makes me think of the meme format that's been circulating where it's like, you don't see me at the club? Okay, well, I don't see you on page 76 of Andamil Meester eBay searches, like, or whatever. I don't see you on page 45 of whatever multi-brand site searching for high fashion, whatever. It's like, okay, like, we get it. You worked really hard for it, which I think that meme format is funny. I don't think it's like problematic or harmful. I'm just saying it's like, why? What is the obsession with needing to prove that we belong? And we're already in fashion, and we're already using symbols to associate ourselves with things. It's like, I'm symbolizing my association to symbolize my association to symbolize my association. It's like, all right, let's chill out. And I said, I think this is especially the case since the 2010s sustainability culture, which I feel like was this increasing consciousness around like paying attention to what you buy and signaling to other people that you do. Like, the way that you were dressing if you thrifted was a way of symbolizing not just like an actual active participation in political movement to divest from over-consuming, but it was like you're symbolizing to other people with the little high-waisted pants, like, I'm the kind of person who would, you know, divest, because I'm showing you that I'm conscious about the way that I shop. And, you know, it was a genuine consciousness, not just a symbolic one. It was a genuine consciousness about how we shop. And then in the 2020s, people became hyper aware and cynical, where they're like, all right, like, we've done the diversity and inclusion, we've done the sustainability and all this other stuff, and brands didn't even, follow through on what they promised. Now we're getting into this like ironic, post-ironic, postmodern way of interacting with culture, where people are trying to signal that they know what's going on when they engage with the fashion system, and that they're the ones who aren't being fooled. They are talking about the music industry as if they're music execs. They're talking about how many Billboard hits someone has instead of just talking about the musical resonance. They're not like, the lyrics hit me this way, so this is a better performer. I like the song chords in this one better, so they're a better artist to me. People are like, they had this #1 hit in this month, which is a hard month for and it's like, whoa, did you even listen to the song? Like, do you even like the music, or you just have to say that you understand how the music industry operates? Like, is that even interesting to you, or is that just the way that we've shifted our culture to, make it necessary to participate in it? Like, it doesn't have to be this way. And the same thing with fashion. And I mentioned online, like in the interior space, the way that people are curating their apartments as well, and even talking about the way that they curate their apartments to be this very like messy, authentic, supposedly seeming way, and like more eclectic and less minimalistic and less icy and white and cold, which is like very aligned with that view of insincerity. Like, we're moving into this representative phase of sincerity and authenticity. It's like so that people can say, I deserve to be here because I have a real relationship with this. And I said that they're tapping into these parts of fashion, and it can go beyond signaling status and move into establishing credibility. Like, that's what it seems like now. Like, everything seems like saying I'm credible and I deserve to be here, not just like I know what this is. I have a critical understanding of this. Not just I'm wearing it because I know Chanel or whatever designer. I know that this, and this, and I'm telling you the history online as a content creator instead now. That's what it seems like it is. I've said that people show up to haul videos now with a strategically rehearsed storytelling about what led them to the coincidentally trending purchase as well, to ensure that they're always coming off as authentically engaging these products, instead of just saying like, I bought this because I liked it. They feel like they need more backup than that. And so I see so much anxiety about being a trend hopper or being considered that. But my main POV to Alex was like, I don't really know what the consequences of it are. If people see you as a trend hopper, I actually don't know what happens. Like, we don't maybe need to be this, critical and cynical to each other. I feel like we're trying to represent this form of sincerity outwardly by being insincere to each other, and then not even trusting each other to not treat us horribly when somebody does buy something because it's trending, and consider how that contributes to collective identities and ideals, and the fact that things will always, no matter what, things will always trend. And as long as someone isn't over consuming in an unreasonable way, like, we can offer a sense of understanding to why somebody would tap into something because it's trending. Not that it's good or right, righteous or whatever, but that it's just the way of the world, and we don't have to like destroy and demonize them because you can buy something that's not trending and buy eclectic style and still be over consuming, whereas you can buy something that's trending and almost never shop. And so who has the worst impact on the environment? Who looks better, me or her? Me or her? So, just consider it in that way. And so I said that the outcome is, of all of this, the bag charms debate, which is like a reflexive rallying against anything perceived as fake or manufactured. We're like, oh, this was preconceived. Oh, no. You whoa. You're buying into this because it's a trend. Maybe manufactured is a better word than preconceived there. I'm realizing. I said that ignores the fun of fashion, which to me is using your body as a site of negotiations between real, fake, bad, good, private, public. Like, your body is the site of reconciling for all of those experiences, and I think that that's great. It gives you the opportunity to craft a symbolic performance as a means of expression. Who cares if you buy like a group of bag charms all at once, or if you acquired them over time, because either way, why are you using a commodity to symbolize and represent an experience? You don't ever have to acquire that commodity. Why did you need that ever? Like, whether it's a bag charm or a fridge magnet or anything else, why can't you just remember it or take a picture in your phone and keep it there? Why does it have to be a physical thing? And it's like, we all should be considering that we do this, and we have to really think about it. I just don't think that it's a really valuable form of critique for me a lot of the time. Like Alex Hildreth said in her TikTok, like, we're all becoming the boss babies of fashion discourse, and I agree. It's like, why are we bossing each other around and being mean to each other because they're like interpreting their consumption in one way, or like consuming in one way, as if we're all infallible and we're not all implicated in this. And then the same thing is the case for why am I saying that, and then also creating discourse in the exact same way and then demonizing people for doing the same thing. And it's like, that's kind of the point that Alex made, that like we're all implicated, so it's mostly more, it's funny more than anything. It's just like LOL. It's a laugh, mate. And so, yeah, I said you don't ever need to buy anything to symbolize an authentic experience over time in the first place, so we all just have to be aware of that and like chill out. And we're taking ourselves too seriously. It's like a knee-jerk, unwarranted elitism with some sustainability anxiety sprinkled in, which I understand. So that's my POV on bag charms. And read Alex's article, which I will link below. And I'm working on the Miu Miu Prada video. So I love you. And I hope you found this enjoyable. I don't know.